Alrighty, you are listening to Fired Up with John and James. We have Macho, Alex Barbosa, in studio with us today. Alex, tell us a little bit about what you're doing Saturday night. Let's talk about this again. Temple campus needs to know what is happening here Saturday night.
Well, this Saturday night, pro boxing. It's going down. 10 bouts. That's a fantastic drop right there. It's going down to McGonigle Hall. NBC Sportsnet is televising the main event and the co-main event, as well as probably one swing bout in between. There's a total of 10 bouts. So much local Philly talent is on there. A lot of up and coming, a lot of undefeated fighters actually. Outside of Bryant Jennings and Eric Hunter fighting out of Philadelphia in the main event and the co-main event, respectively. Angel Ocasio, another North Philadelphia product, he's fighting. Jason Sosa, I believe he too trains out of Philly, Camden area. He's fighting. Anthony Bergen, he's another Philadelphia product. He's fighting. Hassan Young, another Philadelphia product. He'll be on there. Myself, as well as Jesse Hart. He's one of the highly touted. He was really one of the highly touted amateurs out of this. He was about to actually make the Olympic team, I believe. Some technicality had occurred and he missed it. He's actually signed with Top Rank Promotions, same as Manny Pacquiao's promotion outfit. So he'll be on the card as well. He was a late ad. I believe Todd Unthanked May is the last undefeated fighter. So I mean, there's a lot of undefeated fighters, a lot of quality prospects on the card. It's really going to be a good night of boxing on this Saturday. I believe the first bout is at 6:45.
Saturday. Pierce McGonigle Hall, just go. Why? What else you got to do? It's the best thing going on campus Saturday night. It is a lock that it will be the most fun happening on campus. Alex, we're going to get into real quick. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience here at Temple? You said you actually worked in the studio. We've got a W.H.I.P veteran in studio with us. Tell us a little bit about your experiences here on campus.
First things first, what I can tell you is it was not here. We were actually located in the Student Center. I want to say on the second, third floor-ish in the back. There was like this little room. It was really awesome though. It was great being involved with the student-run radio. I was involved with the fashion shows and a lot of the planning and the marketing. Just a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff. Occasionally, I'd get behind the mic, talk a little bit of nonsense with with hip hop and stuff. But for the most part, I was involved with the parties and the events and the functions that W.H.I.P had. Outside of my involvement with that, I actually started. Well, I was a part of a group of guys who started a student organization here. We were called Goodfellas, and we did. Love it. And we did a lot of community service outreach programs, things like for Habitat for Humanity. As a matter of fact, right behind this building, there is a basketball court that belongs to the Norris homes.
Yes.
We actually went in there, painted that. I believe every year for about 4 or 5 years, we'd, it'd be like our thing to do in the fall. As well as we also did a lot of student events outside, little parties and events and whatnot. So we had a good time with that. I was also involved with student government. My senior year, I was elected as parliamentarian. That was a great experience in its own right. And I was involved with the student government for 3 years. So I definitely was involved, and that is by far one of the. That's by far one of the things that I feel like I really got out of being here is getting involved and meeting everyone, because Temple is such a diverse campus. Like just being on here, I mean, you're in North Philly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Such a diverse, people from all over, D.C., New York, as far west as California. I mean, they come here.
People from all over the world.
Exactly, and they come here, and you get to meet and interact, work with them, and I learned so much just being here, just with the people. Obviously outside of my wonderful Temple education that I received here too.
Well, I think that's a great point. I think that one of the best things about being here is the ability to interact with so many different people, to be able to do so many different things within the W.H.I.P. A perfect example, to be able to go and actually do a radio show and things like that are really worthwhile experiences that you could take out of that college time, and I think that's great.
Now I'm just a little curious. Talking about beating people. Say Saturday, before the fights. Are you all going to be in the same locker room, and do you go talk to everybody? Is it like a network for you to try to build up future fights? Because apparently you're like the Jay Leno of boxing. You have no promoter, you have no manager. This is just you handling everything.
Well, I mean, I'm really blessed. I'm really fortunate. Like, I've established a lot of connections. I've been able. I mean, my Temple connection, just going here and graduating from here, kind of puts me in like rare air. Anytime there's something going on campus, especially with boxing, I'm kind of going to be the poster child for that. Like, they're going to want to have me associated with it. I mean, again, I went here. Like, this is home for me.
Right.
But no, to just flat out answer your question, I don't worry about any of that stuff. To be honest with you, I'm easy to contact. People, if they want, different promoters want to reach me, I'm very easy to find. You can find me at Schuler's. If not, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Like, it's, social media has really taken a big jump. I mean, it feels like, I feel like it jumps every day almost. Right. It gets bigger. So I don't really worry about any of that. I don't worry about after the 8th. All I'm worrying about is the Saturday night, December 8th. Yeah, and I've never been a fighter to ever overlook or like plan. Like, I know some fighters will schedule maybe 1 or 2 fights in advance. Nah, I'm just worrying about one at a time. And let me just deal with what I have in front of me. You have to be very focused with what you got going on. So, I mean, after the fight, I'll shake my opponent's hand. Okay. And I am a gentleman after.
Right.
While
if he can walk, that's the problem.
Well, I wish him safety. I wish him safety
win the fight,
in losing.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
I wish him safety in a losing effort.
Let me ask you a quick philosophical question here about boxing. I would say probably the biggest, at least noteworthy news-wise, the biggest event to happen in boxing over the last year was the Bradley-Pacquiao fight. And, obviously, many question the decision. First of all, what did you think about the decision in that fight? And then second, what do you think boxing needs to do to move forward? Not just from this example, but to move forward and find a way to get back to the popularity it's had in the past.
Well, I mean, the decision it's interesting because as a competitor, like, at the end of the day, you're only fighting for those 3 people. 3 people who decide the outcome of the fight,
right?
And
sure.
And their opinion matters significantly more than what anyone else has got to say. I mean, like, I remember watching the Pacquiao Bradley fight, and then, I mean, we're human, so as the commentators are making it seem one way, everyone's kind of believing the same thing. I mean, I honestly watched it again, and I could somewhat understand where maybe where you could side with Bradley. I personally thought Manny Pacquiao was just too busy. I personally believe he won the fight.
I did too.
All right, I can at least. But I mean, I played it again, muted Max Kellerman and Jim Lampley, and actually
Max Kellerman's great, by the way.
Yeah, they're
phenomenal.
Yeah. The HBO team, they're really well put together.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so I thought that Pacquiao did more than enough to win. Now,
yeah, I did too.
The one thing that, and I'm not too sure how it can happen, but there needs to be more uniformity with actually giving the fans with what they want. The fans want to see the top guys in the respective divisions fighting each other. And the unfortunate side of the unfortunate part behind that is that it's a business, and the top guys in one weight class probably aren't all with the same promoter. And then if you can't get certain promoters to agree with one another on terms, then you'll never get that fight. For instance, Mayweather-Pacquiao. That fight should have already happened 3, 4, 5 years ago. Yep. And now
it's all anyone wants to see.
And if we do get it, it's probably going to be 2, 3 years late.
Yep, I agree. It's past their prime.
Yeah, and it'll still generate a lot of money. It'll still have great interest and whatnot. But we still cheated the fans.
Yep.
And the more that you cheat the fans, the fans aren't going to necessarily all get up on their soapboxes and just completely boycott anything. But they'll let you know. Slowly but surely, they'll let you know, and they'll move on to something else. And see, if boxing doesn't, at least in my opinion, if boxing doesn't start to straighten out the ship and give the fans what they want, people will just continue to slowly but surely migrate over to whether it be MMA or maybe just become more of a football fan or more of a fan of something else. Maybe stick to, which is why, again, bringing the conversation full circle, when you have a card like the one that we've got on December 8th, where it's nothing, it's 10 evenly competitively matched fights with good with good talent and good prospects, and you have to jump. You have to jump at the opportunity to be there, because it's really. It's rare. This card it's in rare air almost. You got competitive matchups across the board. Every match is competitive, and things like this card. This is what boxing needs. Something from top to bottom, just a good card. Not just not A side versus B side. Right. Not somebody's going to win versus, he's fighting a 0-15 guy. Who's there for a paycheck.
You know what else I think would help too is I think that there are too many weight classes, too many different belts. I think that if they were able to and I understand the weight class issue, but I mean if they were a championship belt used to mean something. Now there are so many different belts and so many different different promoters, different things. I just don't feel like there's that, title anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's no. It's rare for there to be one linear champion in any weight class. I mean, we actually here in Philly we have one. Danny Garcia is universally recognized as the 140-pound champion. But that's. I think of all the weight classes, there may be one or two people who are recognized as the linear champion. It doesn't happen too often. I mean, they do have to figure out a way to kind of start to get a little bit more organizational structure, just to give the fans something more tangible to actually look at, as opposed to this guy is what champion here, where, what's going on, right. And I know a lot of people that, especially working where I work out in Cherry Hill. They understand the sport, but they don't really know the difference between IBF, WBC, WBA, USB. There's so many different
That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
All right, we have run out of time. Alex, one last time, tell everyone where they must be on Saturday night. Let them know why they need to be there. Where should we be on Saturday night, Alex?
This Saturday night, before you guys go out and enjoy yourselves for one last time. Before the semester's over. Oh, believe me, I did go to school here.
Yeah.
I know how it works. I know what the study days do. Yeah, right? Before you guys go out and have a great time on Saturday night, I'd love for you to come. I'd love for you to come to Pierce McGonigle Hall. Come check out the pro boxing. Come support one of your own. It's going to be an action-packed card. I look forward to fighting in front of that crazy owl cheering section that I've been a part of at the Liacouras Center for the basketball games, that I've been a part of at McGonigle for different rallies and whatnot. That's what we need. We need that. We need that infusion of that Temple blood coming in. I'm gonna provide it in the ring. I hope that you guys provide it outside.
There it is. Go see Temple Zone.
It's
Temple
Macho
made.
time Saturday night.
Temple made.
He's undefeated, James.
Macho Alex Barbosa. We appreciate you coming into the studio and chatting for an hour with us. It really made our day better and better for our listeners as well. So we really appreciate it. Johnny, any last words before we get out of here?
Well, we got to do the handoff, and I want to let you know you can follow him at Macho Barbosa on Twitter. On Facebook.
There it is.
And, you definitely want to go out there and support them. 9 o'clock, there will be on TV.
Yeah, 9's on TV. 6:45 is the first bell.
6:45 is the first bell. Show up at 6:45. If you can't get there, watch it on NBC Sports. But try and get out there. Support Macho in person. We'll be right back for the handoff. Macho, thank you for coming in today. We really appreciate it.
The pleasure's mine. Thanks.
All righty.